Hello, Oilers fans. Welcome to Game Over Edmonton. The Oilers with it was kind of a weird game. There's going to be lots to talk about. My name is Austin. I also host on the Austin Hockey YouTube channel. Tonight, I am your host on Game Over Edmonton. Welcome in. I hope you enjoyed the game tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, where the Oilers defeat them by a score of 2-1. And if you're kind of new to the channel, how the Game Over breakdowns work, we go through 3 periods of discussion as marked at the bottom of the screen. And then overtime is all about you, your questions, your comments. However, I will be acknowledging questions and comments throughout the whole live stream. But if there's anything pressing that you want to ask and you want me to wait until the end, absolutely. During the overtime segment towards the end of the Game Over, I will answer your questions. If I have a bit of a raspy voice, I just did a live stream of the game on my own main channel here. But the Oilers, they improved to 16-10-2. They are now third place in the Pacific Division, 3 points behind the LA Kings and 5 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights. The Oilers have won 7 of their last 10 games. Stuart Skinner is on an absolute roll, and the Oilers defensively have played very solid as of late. But in terms of what the Game Over Network is, I'm going to do a quick little intro for the Game Over Network, and then I will get into the actual discussion. The Game Over Network is an ambitious project whose objective is simple: making the sports media world a better and more welcoming place for both audiences and those who work in the industry, while we deliver high-quality analysis, a ton of fun, and a community that brings people together. And that's kind of the gist of it. We have a lot of amazing people in all Canadian markets, all 7 Canadian markets. We create dynamic entertainment media that engages people where they are. And I'm very, very happy and proud to be part of the Game Over Network. I think they're building something truly special here, and I'm excited for the future of the channel in general. Like I mentioned, that first period, it started a little bit slow for Edmonton. And speaking of first period, we're also getting into that first period discussion here on Game Over. It was a slow start to the game. I thought the game started slow. The Oilers had a power play 50 seconds in, and they didn't even get a shot. It looked pretty sketchy. Did not like how they played the power play. However, as that first period went on, they got much, much better. A much better effort for the team, and it was really good to see. And as the game progressed, of course, they played a good defensive, solid hockey game, and they definitely deserved the win tonight. The Lightning, they're a very good team, and they're a team that the Oilers historically have not played very well against, and these games are usually very high scoring. So tonight was a little bit different. We're used to seeing a lot of high octane offense from both teams, but tonight was a 2-1 playoff-like matchup, and I feel like we're using the term playoff-like a lot when it comes to the Oilers as of late, and not that that's a bad thing. The Oilers are playing playoff-like games in December. If anything, that just makes it more likely for them to have success once the postseason hits. Of course, you have to actually make the playoffs. You can't just assume that they're going to make it. There's still a long season to go. The final shots in the game were 25-22 in favor of Edmonton. Face-off percentage was almost dead even. The Oilers were 0-for-2 on their power plays, and the Tampa Bay Lightning also went 0-for-2 on theirs. Hits were 14-9 in favor of the Lightning. Not a physical game, and the Oilers never play physical games anymore. If you're expecting any kind of physicality from Edmonton, you're probably watching the wrong team. The Oilers, they are stingy defensively due to positioning and their stick work. I find Edmonton's stick work, especially in that first period, they were just not allowing Tampa to get any real good looks. And I find they didn't give them any good looks throughout most of the game, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And in terms of their shot suppression as well, the Oilers only gave up, I think it was 21 actual shots on net. So that's great. That's great. If you're an Oilers fan, defensively, they are playing strong. The Oilers, in all situations, just eked out Tampa Bay in the expected goals percentage, 55% to 45%. And the Oilers, there was a bit more shot attempts by the Lightning as the game went on. I'm also super into the advanced analytics. So if you hear me talk about advanced numbers, you're not sure how it works, just ask. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone might have. But that's kind of my overall gist with the game. Let's talk about specific players now. as we head into the second period. And one player in particular I want to talk about is Stuart Skinner. Skinner has played phenomenal hockey as of late for the team. This is now 6 of his last 7 starts where he has put up a .930 save percentage or better. He is absolutely dialed in. He is in elite playoff form. Obviously, we've seen Stuart Skinner struggle in the postseason, but when he's on his game, games 4 through 7, this is the Stuart Skinner that we're starting to see here as of late for the team. Slow start to the season. Same with a lot of other players on the roster, but he's really turned it around. For Stuart Skinner, it's really good to see. This team will have zero success unless Stuart Skinner is on his game. And tonight, he more than gave the Oilers a good chance to win. The Oilers offensively, they had some looks. They had 4 breakaways. They could only score on, well, they technically scored on 2 of them. The Draisaitl goal was technically an own goal by the Lightning. It went off of Victor Hedman and in. But really good to see. Tobias says Skinner with a .955 save percentage tonight. That is absolutely beautiful. You love to see that. In terms of players driving play, expected goals for at 5-on-5, Podkolzin led the way tonight with a 77% expected goals. And Podkolzin, I thought his line played great. I thought him and Draisaitl were really good. Same with Kasperi Kapanen. Another couple players who I thought played really well, Corey Perry and Connor Brown, I thought had great games. Connor Brown, I want to talk about Connor Brown as well, actually. I wasn't going to, but now that I'm thinking about it, Connor Brown, his forechecking ability, his tenacity. I know he's on the 4th line. He's probably not going to produce a lot on the 4th line. Him, Derek Ryan, and Corey Perry, they're not going out there to score goals. I'm trying to get my voice in shape here. They're not going to score goals, but if they can play better than 50% at the in terms of the possession metrics and generate chances and shots and zone time and wear down their opponents, that goes a long way in figuring out your ice time allocation for the rest of your team. And Corey Perry, Connor Brown, and Derek Ryan gave the Oilers real solid minutes tonight. I know Derek Ryan only played about 6 minutes at 5-on-5, but you know what? They only needed him for 6 minutes at 5-on-5, and when he was out there, he was effective. So for Derek Ryan, he's getting close to getting that first goal of the season. I really hope he can come up with it soon. And for the rest of the team, good effort. Love to see it. I will say if there's any negatives in this game, and I don't want to talk about negatives in a 2-1 game where defensively the Oilers played good and goaltending was good. A couple negatives, though. I thought Janmark, Henrique, and Skinner, Jeff Skinner, that is, I thought they had a pretty poor game. I didn't think they played very good. I felt like they were hemmed in a lot. I felt like every time they were on the ice, the scoring chances against just ratcheted up for the Lightning. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they're looking for more from Jeff Skinner. And I know there's a lot of Oilers fans that want to see Jeff Skinner get ice time with McDavid or Draisaitl and maximize his player type, maximize his efficiency on the ice. But I talked about this in my own live stream on my own channel during the game. Jeff Skinner has to earn that ice time. And, you know, people will say, well, Podkolzin only has 3 goals. Kapanen, what has he done? He's a new player on the team. Like, I get it. Like, there are arguments for why certain players should and should not play with, you know, the top guns. But Jeff Skinner, apart from a solid first 2 weeks of the season, he hasn't looked great. They have given him some looks with the top 6. Not often. They've given him some. He's on that second unit power play. But Jeff Skinner is not helping play out at all at 5-on-5. You're looking for guys who can contribute every now and then, even if they're not getting that ice time with McDavid and Draisaitl. You're looking for that depth scoring. Tonight, they didn't get depth scoring, but they had looks from guys like the fact Corey Perry is able to generate more offensive chances than a guy like Jeff Skinner and has more goals than Jeff Skinner this season. I don't know what that says about Jeff Skinner or what that says about Corey Perry. Again, I like Jeff Skinner. I think long-term, success will be there for the team, but in terms of Jeff Skinner's impact right now, it's not where the fans want it to be, and it's not where the team needs it to be either. Another player who I thought actually kind of struggled tonight was the Ekholm and Bouchard pairing. Yes, Ekholm did have a goal. It was called back for offside. I think most of us knew right away that that was offside when Hyman entered the zone. And I was saying on my own stream, I was like, I really hope the Oilers don't score here because I'm pretty sure that's offside. Lo and behold, 30 seconds later, they scored. Ekholm with an absolute bomb beat Vasilevsky over the right shoulder, but it was called back. Ekholm in general, I didn't think played great. Neither did Bouchard. But it wasn't like a terrible game. Like they weren't like awful. Darnell Nurse, Great game from him. I guess I'm just talking about every individual player. I might as well discuss every player individually here. Ty Emberson, real solid, real quiet game from him, but quiet is good. Quiet is good. We don't need the high event, high octane type defenders. I think Ty Emberson's role right now is perfect for what he is. And Derek Ryan, I mentioned. Connor McDavid had a goal, which is great to see. And you absolutely love to see that for the team. Now let's head into the third period here of the game over discussion. And the thing that we're going to talk about is the Oilers' ability to shut things down recently. Earlier in the season, they'd have a lead head into the third period, and they would try and shut down their opponent, and they would give up a lead. It would be tied, and we had some decent overtime games. Yes, the Oilers have a decent amount of overtime wins, but they've had opportunities to close teams out in regulation. And tonight was a huge test because Tampa's a good team. They might not have the same offensive weapons as years past, and they may not, be in the Stanley Cup contender conversation like they have been in years past. But this is a team coming into tonight that was averaging the second most goals per game this season, and the Edmonton Oilers held them to 1 goal. And they held them to a 1-goal game. They held them to nothing in that third period. And the Oilers actually had a 1-0 lead after the first. Tampa leads the league in first period goal differential. Tampa Bay gets off to hot starts during games, and they're able to get into their rhythm. The Oilers never once allowed this team to get into a rhythm, get into a groove. And I love that. I absolutely love that. For the Oilers, too, they only held Tampa to 8 shots in that third period. They held Tampa to 7 shots in the first, 7 in the second, and 8 in the third. So 22 total. The Edmonton Oilers put on a defensive clinic. And what this game reminded me of specifically was that Colorado game from about a week and a half ago, where the Oilers just nullified Colorado. They weren't allowing Colorado to get any kind of speed through the neutral zone. They weren't allowing Colorado to properly cycle, and they weren't allowing the Avalanche to use their high-octane offense to get those slot shots, those high-danger looks. The Oilers frustrated Tampa tonight, and I'm actually surprised Tampa wasn't taking penalties, because Tampa's pretty notorious when they're, when they're frustrated. Guys like Kucherov, guys like Point, like Hedman, these are guys, McDonough even, they are known to be pretty aggressive in their physicality, but the Oilers did such a good job at neutralizing everyone on that team tonight. Yes, Gensel scored. Yes, Kucherov got an assist. But the fact that they're able to hold those guys to 1 point each and a 2-1 win, I think the Oilers as a team, they've grown a lot when it comes to the defensive impacts, the defensive metrics. The fact that they're able to shut these high-octane offenses down, like Colorado, like Tampa, real good sign for the team. They've completely bought into a defensive system where it's not always pretty to watch. It's not always exciting to watch. I think a lot of fans, they want that excitement. They were used to, high-scoring games where the Oilers would come out with a win, but they're just giving up chances all over the ice, even though they're getting their own chances too. I do like that the team has seemed to really focus on the defensive structure. They're really good in the neutral zone, and defensively, they are so good with their sticks. They are just super annoying to play against. If I was not an Oilers fan, I would actually hate watching this team, mostly because of how boring they can make a game play. And I think that's a good sign. Really, really exciting. I agree with you too. Exciting when the Oilers win, but yeah, this team looks very complete. I completely agree with that. Erica says, great game. I also agree. Bren says, good game. Tobias also said, hi, everyone. Great game by the boys. Talkative introvert. Hello, TVT first. Of course, for those of you who follow my channel and the Game Over channel, thank you for tuning in to both live streams tonight. You are amazing. But yeah, I just going to finish up the defensive play of Edmonton before we head into the overtime period for the Game Over channel here. The Oilers defensively right now, they are playing complete hockey. Full 60 minutes. Everyone is bought in. Nobody's cheating. And nobody's looking to blow open a game if they don't have to. And nobody's looking to make those high-risk plays if they don't have to. And one player in particular, there's one player in particular before we head to overtime here on Game Over that I want to give a shout out to for not making these high danger plays or panicking with the puck. And that is Darnell Nurse. Darnell Nurse tonight. I don't know how much fans have noticed lately, Darnell Nurse was notorious for unforced ice scenes. If he's being pressured, puck off the glass and out. If he's being pressured, unable to make a pass. But what we're seeing from Darnell Nurse when it comes to this Oilers group and Paul Coffey working with him and Nurse in general over the past month, tonight specifically, before the Oilers went up 2-1, Darnell Nurse did such a good job of spinning away from a couple checks. No, it wasn't before. It was before McDavid's goal in the first period. Darnell Nurse was pressured a few times, and instead of just throwing the puck up the middle or off the glass or panicking with it, he did a really good job at keeping possession. Because why do you want to give the puck up? Yes, you're being pressured, but Darnell Nurse, his best asset is his skating. And Darnell Nurse, he spins away from trouble, spins away from a check. If he doesn't have his partner to pass to, he maintains possession. He holds on. He eventually worked the puck back around the boards to Kulak. He got the puck up the right side to Draisaitl. Draisaitl played it into the middle for McDavid with speed. Now, Darnell Nurse, he went off of the ice before that goal for McDavid. Darnell Nurse didn't even get a plus on the plus-minus chart. He didn't get a plus. He didn't get an assist, but his defensive calmness allowed that goal to happen. And that's a real good sign. The Oilers are a better team when Darnell Nurse is on his A game. And Darnell Nurse tonight was instrumental in the Oilers winning this one. Tobias says Nurse got that taken away from the hit from Reeves. Since the hit, he's made less mistakes. Yes, I saw someone on Twitter say that Darnell Nurse now has reverse CTE after the Reeves hit, where it's like Reeves knocked some sense into him. Of course, Darnell Nurse was playing much better hockey in the 3 weeks leading up to that hit by Reeves. But since he's come back from injury, he's actually been even better. So that's good to see. Erica says, feeling so happy for Nurse these days. He is looking great. I cannot agree more with you, Erica. You are right on the money. Ancient Sith Lord says, LOL. Omniwave says, great to get the win. I completely agree. Huge win for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, before we head into the overtime period, I do want to give a bit of a shout out to the Game Over Network store. There is tons of merch available for all 7 Canadian markets, whether you're an Oilers fan or a Habs fan, Leafs, Jets, Canucks, Senators. We have merch for all 7 Canadian teams, and it's great. There are sweaters, there are hats, there are t-shirts, there are mugs. I personally, myself, I have a t-shirt and I have a mug, and I actually should have been wearing it on stream today. But if you're ever interested in Game Over merch, all the proceeds go to supporting not only the channels, but the creators who produce content for these channels, who do a lot of really good work behind the scenes. Andrew Berkshire and the team right now, they are doing so much. They are working their tails off, and it's been incredible to be part of. I wish I was able to do more of this for them. I feel bad that my work schedule has been so intense that I haven't been able to do as many shows for them, but I'm really excited that I get to do the show tonight. I'm humbled that they allow me to come on here and interact with the fans. You're all amazing. We don't do this without you, by the way. So check out the merch shop. Link is in the description, of course. And we also have our Patreon. You can support us bit by bit and get rewarded through the Patreon. Link is also in the description below. So, again, we'll head into the overtime here. I'll take fan questions and then we'll kind of wrap things up. So if there's anything pressing on your mind, any questions you want to ask me, any questions about the game, I'll give you a few minutes to get those typed up, and we'll keep going from there. Hope when the Oilers make the playoffs, we see this Nurse and not last playoffs Nurse. If we get this Darnell Nurse, and I don't want to just get too excited. I don't want to overanalyze things. I don't want to get too far ahead. But if this is the Darnell Nurse that the Edmonton Oilers get in the postseason, assuming the Oilers make the playoffs, because I don't like to just assume it's going to happen until they actually clinch their spot in the postseason. I don't know. I feel like I jinx the team whenever I talk about the playoffs, but because you brought it up, if this is the Darnell Nurse that the Oilers get in the postseason, they have such a good chance of winning it all. And it makes me very excited as a fan. So I hope they're able to do that. I hope Darnell Nurse is able to sustain this play. And I hope Darnell Nurse is able to stay healthy as well. I feel like Darnell Nurse has been injured a lot over the last couple of years, whether it's that core injury that he had 2 years ago. I think it was in the Flames series he suffered it. And then he was just completely ineffective against Colorado. And then I think he was injured during that Vegas series. He was injured heading into this season. If Darnell Nurse is finally just healthy and able to focus on hockey, that's bad news for the rest of the league. I love this concept for the Game Over channel. So excited to see it grow. Me too. I'm also excited to see it grow. And I feel like it's been growing pretty good, considering the team has basically started from scratch. It used to be part of the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, but now we are fully independent. Andrew Berkshire and the team have done so much to get this thing up and running. And again, I don't do this for any financial gain. I do this because I'm passionate about the team and I'm passionate about the work that Andrew and the Game Over Network are doing to do something different when it comes to the media landscape, especially when it comes to covering hockey and the NHL specifically. I think there is a real opportunity for growth, a real opportunity to find a niche where we're producing content that nobody else is producing, and we're producing content that is engaging, that is very welcoming for everyone of all backgrounds, ethnicities. It's something I'm personally really passionate about. I'm proud to be a part of, and I'm really glad that you feel the same way. I know for a fact that the Game Over Network is going to eventually become just something truly, truly incredible on a scale that I can't even comprehend right now. Obviously, right now, we're growing. We're doing great. Your support has been amazing. Without you, I'm unable to do this. Tobias asks, when is your next live stream again? How are the advanced stats calculated that you usually do on your game previews? So the advanced stats, I get all of them from Natural Stat Trick, and they have their own calculations. I don't have the information that the Natural Stat Trick people have in terms of their calculations. So I try and use them. I'll use Money Puck as well. And those are kind of the two main websites I use when it comes to the advanced stats. And of course, when it comes to live streams, I think the next live stream I'll be doing on the Game Over Edmonton channel will be, it won't be Saturday. It won't be the Minnesota game. I think it's going to be the Bruins game. If not the Bruins game, I can do the Sharks game on Saturday the 21st, and then the Senators game on Sunday the 22nd. So you'll probably see me here sometime in the next week or two, once again, at least a couple times actually. And then after the new year, when my schedule from work opens up a bit more and I'm back to regular working hours, I'll be able to produce so much more content here that I'm really excited about. So it should be a lot of fun. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes for some questions, and then we will wrap things up. Of course, if there's anything that I missed too, if there's anything that I missed from the game, please let me know. If there's anything that I haven't touched on, I feel like I touched on a lot of different players, a lot of different storylines. I guess I could address the high stick, the high stick no goal that the Lightning were adamant that they did score. I need to read what the rule is, but I don't think this goal counts anyways, because I don't think you ever see the puck actually cross the goal line. But I know Paul did high stick it, but I'm pretty sure because the puck came down and hit an Oiler, I think that nullifies the high stick because it hits an Oiler instead of another Lightning player. And then, of course, Nurse fell into the net with Skinner, and you couldn't quite see where the puck was. You could assume the puck is behind the red line, but if you cannot see it, and of course, another thing that makes me agree with the call that the officials eventually made was the call on the ice was no goal. The call on the ice was no goal. So it's really tough to overturn that. You need conclusive evidence to overturn that goal. Or the goal on the no goal on the ice call. They did not have sufficient evidence to do that. It was a pretty quick review too. So for Lightning fans, of course, you're probably going to disagree. It was an interesting play. I'm really happy the Oilers were able to hang on, mostly because the fans were doing the wave with about 5 minutes left in the third in a 1-goal game. And for those who follow me on my own channel, you'll know my thoughts on the wave. I won't get into a rant here on the Game Over Edmonton channel because I don't want to sound unhinged. But I was saying if Tampa ties this game, it's because the fans were doing the wave. I think the wave is a curse. I think it is bad juju. Luckily, it did not actually do anything tonight. You know what? Maybe we embrace the wave. Maybe we start to embrace the wave. What do you think? Maybe the wave is actually good luck now. Maybe we need the fans to start the wave in the first period and just get this team going. Stick has to be above crossbar while making contact with the puck, propelling it towards the goal. Okay, gotcha. Brendan says the wave. I love the wave. Welcome, Brendan. So that's going to be it from me, everyone. I truly appreciate you all tuning in. I like to try and keep these shows around 30 minutes. A little bit shorter tonight, but I think that's okay. We do have a Discord. You can join the Game Over Network Discord. Link is in the description of this live stream right here. And of course, make sure to follow not only myself on Twitter and Instagram and all places that you like to follow your creators, Graham, who is also an Oilers Game Over host. Make sure you follow him, and make sure you follow Avry Lewis-McDougall, who also does a lot of content for the hockey news. So thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate you all tuning in, allowing me to continue to produce content for Game Over Edmonton. And I appreciate that I even have the opportunity to do this. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Congrats again. We got the victory chain on. Oilers with a huge win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And as I mentioned, Discord in the description of the live stream. The Patreon link is there as well. And of course, the Game Over shop if you're ever wanting some fun merch, which I'll make sure to wear in the next one that I do here on Game Over Edmonton. Thank you all so much. I love all of you. Game Over Network loves all of you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.